Okay, welcome along. Just going to do a quick read with the Oracle of the Grail Code, which essentially these would be the Divine Feminine cards. I think what prompted me is there's so much going on at the moment, and there's a lot of movement and actions in the outer world that are very much affecting people's inner world. But in a lot of ways it's a very kind of masculine dynamic out there. So it's just to pull back a bit and focus on a bit of balance and the quiet, beautiful, divine feminine that's always there. So this is in relation to the beauty of the earth this time of year. That feminine principle. We all have masculine and feminine, but the feminine principle, which seems to be out of sync at the moment, or one other principle is kind of a little bit too heavy, too strong. So therefore it's a good time to tune into that. This is for entertainment purposes only. And take what resonates. So I'm beaming out here from my studio caravan, and early June. But so it's all like as well the women in the community, the mothers, the sisters, the aunts, the grandmothers, the daughters, the nature, just to kind of reconnect a bit with that. So the way I use the cards is I would be looking at states, beneficial states, either moving towards or moving away from something. So beneficial states right now to focus on or tune in with or meditate upon or connect with, etc., etc. So, but I did it in the Celtic Cross spread. So the first card really is the seasons that has come up. So that's the self now. It is a season, and it is early summer, late spring, and so this card is very kind of fitting for that. The image on it, especially. So there it is, that beautiful Renaissance painting. Could even be the arrival of spring. There we are, seasons. This is a season we're in, but it is the beauty of the season of May and June and July. All the bounty, all the beauty that's there, and just kind of holding on to focusing and connecting with that, really and truly. In my mind, that's where it's at. And we are in a particular season at the moment as well, in terms of what's going on. And what's crossing that is... So what's crossing could be a positive or negative card, but what came up is plenty. And this card came up recently, in actual fact, as well. So very similar, the bounty, the garden, the flowers, the community, the sharing, the celebrating, the seasons as well, because the card shows different seasons, but the majority of it is spring, summer, the beauty, and the bounty of plenty and all that's there, and sharing that. So that's a really good thing at the moment. And it's a really helpful thing to focus in on. Conscious thoughts driving the upper mind, as it were, is the rapture. So there she is, very still, pointed, with her lute, and in tune. Playing, focusing, and also kind of the look on the painting, staring off into the horizon whilst playing, whilst tuning in to the beauty of it all and the rapture of the beauty of it all. Really good in the conscious mind at the moment, staying with that. And the subconscious mind, just lovely, reminding us all, it is summer. There they all are, out in the summer, dancing, flowers, celebrating, communing, tuning in, and reminding us all to play, to be playful, to look at the beauty, to share, to commune, to focus in on that, which is something we actually are entitled to, even under very difficult circumstances. And it's very helpful in the subconscious. What has moved is here, but in the process of moving out is the wonderful Venus de Milo. There she is, the goddess of love and beauty, love most especially. And that really is the personification in some ways of the divine feminine, the beauty of it all, the beauty within people, the beauty all around us. So that's around. But what is coming in, is here, and on the way in as well, is the Temperance. A very, very beautiful painting. There she is, holding the jug of water downwards, which then kind of becomes fire. Beautiful. I think it's a William Morris painting, drawing. Just gorgeous. Temperance. So this is the earthly plane, the higher plane, the merging of the two, the communion of the two, staying in a kind of a good zone, a pure zone to a certain degree, staying on that good path, simple path of connecting and not getting caught up in other stuff or very, very distracted. It's a very kind of a pure state, but it is kind of that help from above as well in connecting. And so the next card is the Feminine, the Grail, which in some ways, with regard to the actual cards and the author, I suppose this would be the personification of that. So this is the internal Grail. This is in the position of the self, the deep self. There she is, the dove behind her, the Grail, the internal Grail, the Grail of all. Such a high, strong spiritual thing. And to tune in to the higher beauty, the higher order, the higher connectedness, the higher what's real, in some ways, of who we are, and the sovereign and divine feminine. It's very strong, it's very good, and especially in that position. So the next card is a lovely card, and it's love. So there we are. That is in the environment. Again, the beautiful summer fields, the rainbows, the butterflies, gorgeous painting. Staying with love, really, at the end of the day, just staying in one's environment, tuning in with all that is encapsulated within love, loving, being loved. Appreciating is a form of love. Being appreciated, connecting is a form of love, etc., etc. On it goes. It's just such a core, but it's a strong reminder at the moment in one's environment just to stay with the divine feminine, just pointed aspect of love. Next is the hopes and expectations. Is charity. The wall, the older woman sitting there with her cane and her hat, and another woman approaching, with a cloth and a plate, etc., etc., roses, summer, in a secure place, in this beautiful garden behind the wall with the city on the other side. Charity. It is through our capacity for true charity to ourselves, charity to the world around us, tuning in to charity as a way of life, as a way of being, and in some ways this idea that, you have to be tough, and yes, of course, but these principles, it would probably be important they don't get too diminished at the moment. The gentle, quiet charity in people's lives, in people's spiritual lives, the importance of it, truly, in a living way. And the final outcome is just so lovely. There is herself. Okay, the Mona Lisa. Merriment. Really, to be merry. It's June, it's beautiful. We can stay with really good states that belong to us, stay with the love, have the internal grail there and working with it, focusing, staying in a good way, interconnected, heaven and earth, not getting caught up in a lot of drama. Keeping the mind clear and tuning in, rapture, play again. Tuning into all of that wonderment, beauty, the sharing and the plenty, and the season, the turning of the wheel, the season that we're in our lives. So it's all, these are, I feel, such important states. And these days it is as if people are being distracted and lured and pulled away from how wonderful these type of states are to keep in one's life, to nurture and to enjoy them, and not to be afraid to play, tune into the beauty, the sharing plenty, not being afraid to drive one's own path in one's own way, tuning in to the real, sharing the love and the charity, bring in a bit of merriment and keep the mind in a good space with regard to the divine. Anyway, look, I hope that helps. I was very interested to see what cards would come up in relation to this, especially at the moment. All of these beautiful paintings of this, it is there all the time. Okay. Take care. Bye.